Hi everyone, welcome to today's live stream with Strike. So I'll give a couple of minutes for people to join before we begin, and I'll show you a new feature that we have made live, as well as we'll be continuing with the market analysis. So meanwhile, if you guys have any questions with regards to the platform, you can put it in the chat box. Right, guys. So I'm beginning now. Let me share my screen. So firstly, I would like to show you a new scanner that we have made live. So all you can do is just go to the first option, that is discover, and within that the scanners are there. Now in scanners, you already had price scanners, Rohit scanner, dot trend scanner, as well as seasonality scanner. Now we've added candlestick scanners as well. So you can see within candlestick scanners, there are we have divided the patterns into four different categories, that are a bearish reversal, a bearish continuation of a trend, a bullish continuation, bullish reversal. So what additionally you are getting here from any other candlestick scanner is that we are also seeing the position where the candlestick is forming, right? So if it is forming after an uptrend, is it a reversal candlestick, or is it a continuation candlestick? So right now, as you can see, I've selected today's date and I'm at daily time frame, and I have filtered only on indices as well as FNO stocks, and this is a bearish reversal. So, for example, the first stock coming here is Atul with a bearish spinning top, and the system will also be highlighting that candle for you on the chart, so that it's easy for you to spot. So, like there is one example for evening star. So you can see evening star is a three candlestick pattern. The system has identified and highlighted it for you. So similarly, you can go in bullish continuation or bearish continuation, or even bullish reversal. So any of the categories where you want, you can just apply filters with respect to which date you want to see, which time frame you want to see, and you can even filter the particular pattern which you want to see. So let's say I want to see only on indices. Then in bullish reversal, there is only one index that is popping up, that is Nifty IT. So this way you can customize all different things that you would want to view based on candlestick scans. So you can just go ahead, give it a try, and use this feature. I hope you all will like it. And if you have any questions or any feedback on the new stuff or on any existing feature, just post your questions either in a comment box or in the raise a ticket section in the strike itself. So we will be looking at your queries. So coming back to today's market, so we have a monthly expiry today, and the action is largely suppressed. Both Nifty and Bank Nifty are down close to 0.5%, and the mainstream stocks are under pressure. And again, the broader market again is trying to hold better in terms of strength. You can see only 16 stocks are positive in Nifty, and about 236 are positive in Nifty 500. While in the FNO segment, 67 stocks are showing long build-up, not too bad, and 112 are showing short build-up. So mostly it is the action is suppressed by expiry. In terms of key levels for the particular expiry, we are seeing huge uh, option OI build-up, call OI build-up on 19,300, 350, and 400, all three levels. And currently, spot Nifty is at 19,273. So it is even below this 19,300 level. So on the downside, for today's session, the highest support from put OI is around at 19,250. So just 1 hour left in the monthly expiry. So largely this 19,200 to 19,300 or 350 should be the range for the market to follow. And mainly the call writers being way more aggressive than the put writers. In Bank Nifty, the spot levels are right now at 43,963, and the highest call wise at 44,000, and all other strikes as well. But at 43,900, there is still put wise higher than the call wise. So 43,900 looks to be a good support in for the rest of the session, followed by 43,800. So it needs to be seen uh, which level holds for the both the indices. With that, let's go to the charts itself and see. So Nifty hasn't been able to close above the 10-day average that we have been discussing since quite a lot of sessions. And every time it has tried to, go near the 10-day average, it has not been able to close above. Only on this day, it marginally closed above. Next day, it opened gap up, but again closed below the average. Same thing, same story. Every time it's getting rejected from here. But here that is a gap support that it is every time trying to take support at. So if I try to draw that, so this is a gap zone from 19,234 to 19,201, which is a zone where multiple times support has been taken. So broadly, 19,200 seems to be a strong support for the index. If broken, then one can even look at more downside. But typically, that seems to be the support. Let's go to the setup. Only for one day we got a new buy signal, which didn't last for even one session. On the next session itself, it got reversed, and all other confirmations are also negative. On the hourly, same thing, no confirmation as yet for any uptrend to start soon. But since today is the monthly close as well, that is where one should be looking at. The monthly indicator is still in buy mode, but the monthly candle itself looks bearish. But if it falls slightly more, it may also turn into a bearish engulfing candle. So that is something to be looked at carefully. In terms of Bank Nifty, it was able to close above the 10-day average for a couple of sessions, but in today's session it is again below it. But it's still above the lows it made few days back. So in that sense, it may be slightly stronger than the Nifty itself. And in terms of the setup, only the RMI is still in bullish mode. All other things haven't been able to. It has sold off from the averages itself. And on the hourly chart as well, it is making lower lows as of now, and no clear confirmation on any signal. So let's go to the FIDI data and see what happened in yesterday's session. Yes, based on yesterday's data, FIs were again net sellers for around 494 crores, and DIs were the buyers to the extent of 1,300 crores. And in derivatives, so futures only 1,200 contracts of selling, not a significant figure. In terms of index calls, there was selling of 84,000 calls, but at the same time, 113,000 puts were also written. So broadly, net, it was not much of a change from the FIs itself in the derivatives part as well. So that would reflect into the sentiment as well. We try to look at the futures position. It is stuck between that 40,000 to 25,000 short position, and it's not moving much on either side. So action has been broadly muted since we peaked in mid of July. I'm just changing over to the put call ratio as well. There we are still making a higher low. So this is a positive divergence that still remains, which shows that there is a reluctancy in terms of participants selling more calls with respect to puts. And if I go to diffusion, we did see a big bump up here in terms of stocks closing above the 20-day averages, but that has not showed up on the price action of the index itself. And again today, it is falling from 52 to about 40. So the stocks above 20 DMA is not giving a clear cut signal for the Nifty, at least. In terms of stocks with RMI buy, it is still holding above the 50 mark as of now. Let's look at the stocks with MACD buy as well. So this also had given us a good bump up from around levels of 25 to around 40, and it is still there. So stocks have given some bullish signals in terms of the underlying strength, but the index itself is largely suppressed on account of monthly expiration. So one needs to wait and see whether or not we see follow up of this action uh, post the expiry as well. So that's on the sentiment and diffusion. With that, let's go to the heat map to see where there is highest action today. So very few indices are up to the extent of about 0.5%, but mostly are down today. With the top losers, let's see. Top losers are PSU banks today, with the Bank of Baroda being the weakest and SBI being the strongest because it is down the least. The downside action is followed by FMCG as well as oil and gas index. So yeah, so the action is mostly negative for today. So the more interesting thing for today would be to be looking at all these scans in terms of monthly time frame. So since we are at the last trading session for the month, one needs to see if there are any new signals on the monthly time frame of different charts, and whether or not any new monthly signals are popping up. So one thing would be candlesticks that I hope you can be try on your own. What I am more interested in right now is looking at the Dow trend scanner. So let's say I'm selecting indices and FNO stocks. Monthly, I'll be selecting both up to down and down to up. So looks like on the Dow trend on the monthly, we are not having any change. Mostly all are either down or up. So let me go to the Rohit scanner. One second. So right now I've selected new buy and new sell signals for indices as well as FNO stocks based on the monthly time frame. So you can see only three new sell signals are there, but there are all other are new buy signals. So this gives a very big list for you to analyze and see if there are any interesting ones. So if we look at just the indices, then there are four indexes popping up. One is Nifty IT. You can see the monthly indicator going into buy mode. Media, metal, as well as consumer durable. So monthly signals are important for the larger time frame. So one can have a decent look at this to figure out stocks for the larger time frame. Going to the seasonality scanner now. So what I've done here is I've selected today's date. Basket have given us the indices as well as FNO stocks. You can choose anyone of your liking, even your own watch list. It is a test period which you want to give. So I'm giving 10 years, and I have the for the number of days that I want to test is for 30 days. And I've given a bullish reading, right? So what this will do is it will check for the last 10 years on the basket that I've selected for 30 days from 31st of August to tell me what the performance has been for different stocks. So the stocks with highest median returns will come at top, followed by the stocks with lowest median returns. Then you can further see what was the maximum gain or maximum loss in all these trades, and what was the win percentage based on all years. So since we are looking at 10 years data, for some stocks you'll have somewhat less data, but most stocks will show up here will have 10 years of data. So you can see uh, many stocks have 8 out of 10 times given positive returns, 7 out of 10 times they've given positive returns. And all the data with respect to what they've returned and the risk, that is the standard deviation, that is all is mentioned there. And you can further in detail go on this. So very shortly, we'll be putting out a detailed video on how to be using the seasonality scanner itself. One can easily, wander around this. It's a very useful scan. It is not uh, any prediction, but it is just a back test of previous year's seasonality for the selected period, and one can have a statistical view on that. So, if there are any seasonal patterns or seasonal opportunities to be looking at, what it does is it gives you a list of the stocks that may be bullish for the selected period, and then you can do your own analysis on the chart and end up with a good result in the end. So, let me know if there are any questions from your end. Okay, there is a question on GMDC chart. Let's try to view it. So we got a new buy signal on the daily chart on 14th of August, and since then it has risen from 175 to about 248. So it has already run up quite a lot. So what would you want to do with such kind of a setup is to actually trail based on your different studies, but that is trend lines or moving averages. So right now it is quite extended on the top end, but one can wait for a fresh cycle or even a test of 20 DMA to be able to enter into such kind of a setup. So if I look at a shorter time frame, yeah. So in the hourly, you can see it is uh, the RMI is into sell and downtrend is also negative, and it is trading below the 20 hour as of now. So one can wait for a fresh hourly signal if you want to enter into such setup. What it does look like by the looks of it is a triangle, maybe. I'm not sure. Let me try to draw. Yeah, so it looks to be in like this particular range for now. So a breakout of any of these trend lines accompanied by signals from the RMI or the Dow trend uh, would be a good approach for this particular setup. One more question has popped up. Multi-time frame analysis with Roy scanner when signals are contradictory. Okay. So obviously the highest important is to be given to sorry guys, by mistake I stopped sharing my screen. Yeah, I hope it is visible. So let's try to find such setups. Right. So here you can see a particular example where we have new buy on the monthly, and now let's see weekly. Then weekly is also new buy. So no, this is not a good idea to check. Let's see some contradictory signals. So yeah, here is a new buy on the monthly, and the weekly is in sell. This is what you mean, I suggest. So the monthly signal, the obviously the higher time frame has to be given the higher priority. So the monthly is telling you that new cycle may be starting on the way up. But if you look at weekly and daily to position yourself for the fresh position, then you have to wait for a fresh cycle, right? So right now I'm assuming since we are looking at monthly, this is a larger time frame that we are checking, right? Not just day-to-day moves. So if the monthly is giving us a new buy, then but the weekly is in sell, so we one needs to wait for the price to confirm. For example, in this, if the weekly is in sell, you wait either for it to test the 20-week average and close positive, or let the indicator go back into buy mode. If weekly is also looking slower, then one can go down to the daily time frame and wait for price signals. So here also you can see there have been a couple of whipsaws. Here it gave buy, then sell, and buy again, and it is holding on to the buy, right? So if I were to look at daily only, and with the monthly signal in my mind, that yeah, monthly is a buy and now I am interested in daily buy. So what I'm seeing here is daily is trying to sustain in buy. But what are the important levels that you see? The 20-day and the 40-day are the key levels. So if it is trying to hold above these two averages on the daily time frame, that is good enough signal for you. But if these levels are broken, then again that makes you to wait for a fresh signal on your daily or a weekly time frame. Monthly signals don't change in one or two candles, because monthly is a larger time frame, so that defines a larger trend for you. But for fresh entry, if you're not already into such stock, you have to wait. So here you can see any other example of a contrary signal. Let me see. So here is a new buy stock. Yeah, the new buy signal on daily or monthly. Weekly is already in buy, but the daily is in sell. So here what you will do. So the you can see the 20-day average is also breaking and the week daily is in sell. So in such a setup, you'll wait for the daily cycle to complete. LTM is buy in weekly, monthly, but sell in daily. LTI. So there's a new buy on monthly. Okay. On weekly also it's a new buy signal, but note that it has not gone this buy signal below the zero line. So that is also important to note. And in terms of daily, so since daily is also whipsawing, but the only thing is the averages are trying to hold. So you have to use it in a combination with a trailing level. So assuming one was interested on the fresh signal and is already holding, then one can trail based on either trend lines or this moving averages. But if one is looking for a fresh entry, then it's better to wait for a fresh cycle to start. That is for it to go below the zero line and then cross over to the new buy side. So that is something that you'd have to filter out. I guess that uh, solves your query. So seasonality backtest, I have already shown. Just a second. So seasonality backtest, what it does is that it tests for the selected period of days from the today's date for 10 years or 5 years time frame, whatever you select, and whether you want to check bullish stocks or bearish stocks, and it will give you all the statistics of what has happened in the selected days, right? So this gives you a list to look at seasonally strong stocks or seasonally weak stocks, and you can further analyze on that. So this thing, I will be posting a detailed video on the seasonality backtest that will help you further to use it. Thank you, Rangaranjan, for your comments. So seasonality will not give. You cannot take a trade decision just on seasonality, but you can have a list of stocks that can be a probable strong or probable weak stocks. You have to go to the chart in the end, and based on your studies only, you have to take a trade decision. But with the seasonality, you can get a list of stocks. Basically, you can uh, decrease the number of stocks in your list to be able to have a limited number of stocks to look at. Since there are so many stocks, it is one of a filter you can use. uh, for bar chart. This looks a good one. If I just look at the daily chart, you can see in today's session, in yesterday it gave a downtrend reversal, and today it's giving an RMI bullish crossover and also trying to close above the 40-day. So just based on the daily chart, this is a decent setup to look at. If you look at weekly, then it has touched the 20-week average and trying to post a good candle, which looks like a hammer. So yeah, I think that is fine. Refresh rate, you mean the prices? Right now we have a 5-minute delayed data. So every 5 minutes it would refresh. Any ideal RMI number? I'm not sure what do you mean by RMI number. You can be a little bit more specific. Waiting for more questions and responses. If not, we'll be ending the stream for today. Axis Bank. So on the daily chart, we had a positive signal starting from 18th of August, and since then it has been trending up. And today it is somewhat weak and is looking to give a downtrend trend reversal. So one needs to wait out and or either switch down to the hourly chart. So on the hourly itself also there are no signals as of now on the Axis Bank chart. Okay, the Rohit momentum no, there is no number specific for the indicator. You just have to follow the signals. Only the number, if you are asking me in the zero line context, then let me just go to another chart. So the thing is, zero line is considered to be a completion of a cycle. So you can watch the RMI video we have already made and posted. So that is something that would easily solve your query. So I think we have already run up to the scheduled timing of the stream, that is half an hour. So I'll be ending. If there are no more questions, let me know. Okay. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow.